Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my review of the Asics Actibreeze Hybrid Sandal. So this is Asics like 3D printed sandal and it retails for 80 bucks, which is kind of expensive, but the technology is actually really cool. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave in the affiliate link in the description box. This all black colorway is available, and there's also kind of like a really colorful rainbow type of pattern. There's a lot of colors on the actual like slide. So those two colorways are available. So again, links will be in the description box. This is really cool because I love slides. I have a whole bunch of slides like in my apartment, just because, you know, if I have guests over, if I have friends over, they can wear it, as well as me, you know what I mean? Because I don't really like wearing out. I mean, I'm Asian, you know what I mean? We don't really wear outdoor shoes indoors. So we have I have indoor slides, you know, so I only wear like a certain slide or slipper indoors, and usually I wear these, the Crocs, you know what I mean? I have this all black one, I also have like an all red one. And Crocs have been kind of like my staple because they're just super comfortable. You know what I mean? Like they have a very wide toe box, which is good for your feet. And overall, the cushion is not that comfortable though. The cushion, there's not a whole lot of compression and stuff like that. But overall, it has very good ventilation. My feet aren't really hot. It's just a slide, you know what I mean? But I've been actually wearing these a lot because I do like how they feel, right? So as far as the outsole goes, I guess, it's just obviously foam, just like all slides are, you know, just like in the Crocs. It's just an extension of the actual foam. Same thing here with these slides right here. And we got it like a grid pattern kind of. It's just squares. And also we have some holes. Well, we only have 2 holes, which is weird, right? So it came with this. Right, it came with this notice, and it's basically saying like, watch out for sticks. You know what I mean? So it says, due to material structure of the sandals, objects may come into contact with your foot. Be careful to avoid walking on uneven surfaces, terrains, and stepping on any debris. So that's kind of weird. I guess sticks and stuff like that can go through these holes. I don't know why they were so concerned about that, because these are kind of small, right? But I guess somehow if it does go into these small holes and then through the actual lattice structure of this 3D printed footbed, then it'll hit your foot, but it's not really going to, because there's not a whole lot of like room for it to go, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to go through this footbed very easily. So anyways, that's kind of weird. I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, it's just a regular type of foam. The actual like outsole isn't super thick, so it doesn't seem like it'll be very like super durable. Like if you look at the Crocs, it's a lot thicker as far as the grooves go, you know? So, but you know, it's just an outsole, so whatever, not a huge deal. They're just sandals, like traction isn't super important. I mean, you don't really want to be sliding all over the place if you're like walking around on like a wood floor or like tiles or something like that. But overall, it's just whatever, you know. Foam usually has pretty good grip, and this has pretty good grip, you know? So there's that. And now moving on to the actual cushion. So the cushion is the most impressive part about the sandal, first of all, for me. So of course, that is the 3D printed part about this actual slide, right? So the outer shell, right, this part is not 3D printed, you know what I mean? So as you guys can see, this part is 3D printed, and that's how they can have this really cool 3D lattice kind of structure to it. And it's really cool because it's removable, right? So as you guys can see, we have some like notches here, I guess, something that protrudes out here on the lateral and medial side. So once that kind of clicks into place, you guys can see the like there's some structures that do protrude out. It kind of goes into these holes and it stays in place. That's how it stays in place. So this footbed is really comfortable. It's super duper soft, and there's a lot of compression here in the heel and also here in the forefoot. And also you can see the raised kind of like arch support, which is pretty interesting, right? But yeah, they can have this type of pattern only through 3D printing, you know what I mean? So they can kind of target where they want it to be soft and where they want it to be a little bit more firm for the structure of your foot, so that you have like comfort but also a little bit more support, right? But for honestly, it says stability, right? This is maybe like the footbed that's made for stability, but it's still really soft, and I really like it, you know? So also another good thing about it, I haven't really seen any type of other like kind of footbeds that they have available, but they said if you do have another footbed available, you can switch it out for like a different one, you know what I mean? So I guess that's a good thing, you know? I guess it is interchangeable in that way. This is kind of like the outer shell. So yeah, if you're looking for step and comfort and a lot of compression right underneath your foot, it's really comfortable. I really like it. But the bad thing is, it wasn't something that was bad, but it was kind of annoying for me. Like I don't really wear socks with slides unless it's really cold. I just usually just go barefoot, right? And this kind of like pattern on here, you guys can see that there's holes, right? So my foot like with all my weight going into this, it kind of like it's kind of uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's not terribly annoying or anything like that. It's just a little uncomfortable when I'm standing around or walking around a long time, I guess like in my apartment or something. But yeah, there's it like when I looked at the bottom of my foot, I can see this pattern, right? Just because, you know, all that weight is on my foot. And because of that, and also like walking around barefoot, it's kind of annoying. So if you don't like that, obviously the solution is to walk around in these slides with socks and problem solved. But obviously, like I said, this is kind of annoying, so just be careful on that. But overall, I really do like this 3D printed footbed. It's really, really nice, and it's one of the most comfortable cushions I've ever felt for like a slide, you know what I mean? Especially comparing it to a Croc. The Crocs aren't that comfortable if you're looking for cushion, you know? So this feels great, and I do like how it's interchangeable as well. But one thing though is that it's super freaking heavy, you know what I mean? So just the 3D printed footbed alone, let's check the actual weight, right? 4.95 ounces, so basically 5 ounces. Let's check the entire weight of the slide. It's 9.25 ounces, which is freaking heavy. You know what I mean? Let's check the Crocs. The Crocs are probably, I haven't weighed these yet. I'm just, you know, seeing from like holding them, it feels like it's way lighter, right? 6.25 ounces. It's a whole 3 ounces heavier, right? So yeah, it's a lot heavier, and also it's a really, really bottom heavy. You can feel it. So that's one thing that I don't like about these slides is the overall weight. I don't know why it's so heavy. Maybe it's, yeah, obviously it's not this, right? This is only what, I guess it's 4 ounces, but even though it's 3D printed and you can see all the kind of like space in between the plastic, right? It's still pretty like heavy, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, the one thing I don't like about these slides is the weight. It's bottom heavy and it's pretty heavy for an actual slide. Comparing to like slides, comparing it to my like Adidas slides, you know, Nike slides, Yeezy slides, these are way heavier, right? So that's something that I definitely noticed as well. And moving on to the sizing I went with a medium, right? So the medium goes from 7.5 to 9, right? And I like to wear my slides a little large because if the fit is a little bit too tight for me, I don't really like wearing the slides. You know, I want it to be a little bit more loose when I'm walking around casually. So this is actually a really nice size for me, you know, because it goes up to a size 9. So it is a little bit big on me, but like I said, I do like that overall like bigger fit. But I would say it runs a little bit large, you know, just because it's accounting for like a size and a half, right? Like 7.5 to 9. So if you want kind of like a bigger size and go up a little bit, you know, look at the size that it accommodates for and look at the biggest size that the medium or large size accommodates for and kind of get the size that you want from that, right? And also another thing that was pretty interesting that they said in their tech specs is that the lattice structure that you see from the actual footbed is for cooling, which is interesting. I don't know how it's gonna be very good for cooling because, you know, I guess there are a lot of holes, right, through this actual footbed, but we have this underneath it, you know, we only have these holes for ventilation, so I don't really know how that'll be good for ventilation, but it's a slide, so it'll obviously be very good for ventilation. And obviously this is a one size fits all type of slide. There's no adjustable strap here, you know, and this is kind of like the design that most slides have nowadays. They don't really have that Velcro, which honestly I'm not mad at. This is fine. I don't really need like a slide to be super tight or anything like that for me personally, but if you want that, now obviously this isn't the best design for you. But yeah, overall, I really like it. The thing that I like the most is the step-in comfort, and the actual footbed gives you a lot of step-in comfort, which I like. And this is kind of like the future of technology. I really enjoy just walking around, but like there are a couple things that are a little like minor annoyances for me. Like the overall weight, you know, it feels bottom heavy, and also this kind of pattern leaving like an imprint on my foot and being a little uncomfortable when I'm standing around or walking around for a long period of time. But other than that, I really like these slides. And if you want something that's kind of like, you know, like out there and something that you can't really get and something really different but also very comfortable, then this is a great slide. And yeah, I'm gonna be daily driving these, you know, probably these and also the Crocs just in my apartment walking around. So yeah, I would recommend it. Again, like I said, $80 is pretty expensive for a slide, but if you do want to spend the money, then definitely, again, I'll try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. But that about concludes my review of these 3D printed Asics slides. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.